What's going on, you lovely gospel gangsters out there? Shipping boy RNJ to the sea, and I'm back in the house with another brand new video. And welcome to another episode of Axios Media. And today we're gonna have a look at something that's been the talk of today, or a couple of days ago, which has been, on everyone's mind and on everyone's articles. So basically, if you have not watched this show, which has kind of gotten quite famous, I think everybody should know this, that Reacher. So if you don't know this show called Reacher, then you should know by now. Reacher is basically a very, very awesome kind of show where, it's basically Jack Reacher, which is not Tom Cruise, sorry. It's not Tom Cruise, okay, let's forget about Tom Cruise in the movie. I mean, he didn't do a pretty good job there, but it's about this guy named Alan Richson, which he is Jack Reacher, and he embarks on a journey where he brings justice along the way. So it's going to be a pretty awesome review on him, because I really like Jack Reacher. I mean, I fell in love with the movie as a kid, but then Jack Reacher 2 by Tom Cruise was not the best, and I didn't really like the fact that Tom Cruise was acting as Jack Reacher. If you read the book from Lee Child, who wrote Jack Reacher, he depicts a pretty big, muscular, tough, and very scary looking dude. I watched season 1 basically quite 3 months ago, and yes, I'm a bit late in watching this because I didn't have time. It came out in 2002, but watching this 2 months ago, the season 1 was amazing, and I loved it so much. I love Roscoe. I love what's the name of this person? Malcolm Goodwin, also known as Finley. I love Finley. Jack Reacher and Finley are both the best combination, like Stark and Hutch, and Batman and Robin. It's just basically the Dominic duo, and these two are amazing. I do also I want to say that season 2 came out, I think, about a couple of weeks ago, and it became the talk of the month. Jack Reacher, also known as Reacher season 2, gained so many hits that it actually broke and pissed a lot of people off. Like, it literally pissed a lot of people off. So let's have a look at season 2. So season 2 only has 8 episodes, alright? The last one aired on January 19th. Now it's recording this. By tomorrow, if I upload, should be January 24th. So basically, it's been 5 days since Jack Reacher season 2 has like ended. So it's pretty good. I love the fact that they have a great variety of characters, and they managed to bring back one kind of person. Now, to mention this, this is going to be a spoiler alert, so if you guys are not interested in me spoiling the story for you, then please click away. But if you want and you just like don't care, then I suggest you watch it, and let's talk about it, and let's see where the story goes, okay? So the season 2 kicks off basically after season 1, where he finishes off in this small town called Margrave in Georgia, and after that he goes on to New York to settle a friend's death. And we're gonna have a look at this video first before we begin anything. So basically, overall, I mean, eventually he wins in the end, and he's the hero that we all need, but not the one we deserve, kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, there is a talk about a season 3 coming up pretty soon. So I don't know what the reception will be. So let's just see. Wait, hold on a second. Season 3. There we go. Season 3. They're talking about it. Yeah, see, they're talking about it, but they're not like, we can expect season 3 sometime this year, likely towards end of 2024. So there is a talk, okay? Not yet like settled, but there's a talk. So let's just hopefully that season 3 is going to be much more epic than the first 2. So yeah. So basically, the season 1, there was a love interest between Jack Reacher and this girl, or this female called Roscoe. In season 2, there's this, oh, she's actually pretty pretty, this person called Dixon. So hopefully, I think maybe they'll talk about in season 3 where they might bring these two they might bring these two together, and then Jack has to choose between one of them. So it's pretty interesting to see that they are trying to get this show going on. But let's just have a look at this video, because this video has gotten a lot of hate. This one was uploaded like 19 hours ago by Screen Rant, and let's just have a look and see what they say about Jack Reacher. Hopefully it's not too bad and it's not that horrible.
Anyone ever diagnose you as a sociopath?
Diagnosed? No.
Reacher Season 2 is over, and it has a lot of problems. One issue became the show's biggest in the last episode, and it may have broken the series entirely.
Okay, spoiler alert here. I did watch this, like, the last episode I watched was like yesterday night, so I hope that I don't, like, spoil anything for you guys. But spoiler alert, spoiler alert right now.
Spoilers ahead for
Yeah, spoilers ahead. So I try to make sure I don't spoil too much, but regardless, I will talk about it. All right.
Reacher Season 2. The second season switched up the format from the first, and in doing so created several major downgrades. One of the biggest was the escalation of Reacher's 20-inch thick plot armor.
Damn, Reacher.
Plot
When we
armor.
were kids, we just wrote our names in it.
What do I mean by plot armor? Well, when it comes to this season, there are two major versions I like to call aim and idiocy. Starting with the latter, at several points in the series, henchmen and bad guys make terrible, almost nonsensical decisions to give Reacher the much-needed upper hand. In episode 4, Reacher and the gang are on a road trip together. Pulling into a pit stop, they are confronted by an entire gang of bikers hired to dispose of the group.
Yeah, I watched the
Surrounded
trailer on
and
this.
completely outnumbered, the bikers disarm the group. Then they decide that guns would be too loud and attempt to kill these four with their fists. I guess if guns are too loud, then a dozen full-throttle motorcycles roaring into a parking lot are the epitome of stealth. There are several other examples. However, the most
Okay. I'm gonna talk about this part first because it seems pretty much not legit. Yes, I kind of understand that. Yeah, like this part of the episode, I don't know which episode, like maybe 3 or 4, where they kind of like this group of bikers were hired by these rich people, and they want to beat them up.
bikers hired to dispose of
Yeah, they want to dispose like 4 of the group here. So you got Jack Reacher and his other pals, Neagley and Dixon, and I forgot the guy's name. But yeah, they were
the
hired
group,
to do
surrounded
this. Yeah, they surrounded them like this, and then they want to beat them up. So they disarm them, and then they said no guns, just knives and fists, so that they don't create too much noise. But yeah, I kind of understand what he's trying to say. But coming into the scene here with motorcycles revving their engines creates a lot of noise. But I think the plot here is that it's nothing to do with how it's conducted. I think it's supposed to be like how it's told, because we're talking about a TV show here. We're not talking about real life, okay? I guess if it was real life, they probably might follow the same method, just a bit more faster. But in the case of this, I think it's just a TV show, okay? We're just watching it for entertainment. We're not watching it to, see a bunch of people beat up the innocent. Not only that, but this is a story about, good triumphing over evil, and, one man trying to settle the score and, settle the entire evilness by killing them all, and by settling it by, destroying and killing everything in his path. Well, this is just a TV show. This is not meant to be like real life. If this was real life, obviously it's stupid. But it's a show. It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be stupid. It's supposed to be ridiculous. Okay, nobody said that Jack Reacher was supposed to make sense. Okay, let's just continue on here.
and completely outnumbered, the bikers disarm the group. Then they decide that guns
I don't think that's wrong. I think it would make sense to disarm them and to take their guns away. I mean, it's kind of normal. If you were hired by somebody and you were like going up close and then wanted to talk to them, you would disarm them first. I mean, it's kind of okay.
would be too loud and attempt to kill these four with their fists. I guess if guns are too loud, then a dozen full-throttle motorcycles roaring into a parking lot are the epitome of stealth. There are several
find that to
other
be that bad.
examples. However, the most extreme comes in the final episode. Reacher has climbed
Yeah,
his
the
way
final
into a
one
moving
is in
helicopter
episode
and
8,
now finds
season
himself
2.
holding a gurney containing love interest Carla Dixon. He is completely vulnerable and could be shot or pushed out at any moment. So naturally, the henchman comes up and gives him some kind of bizarre ultimatum. It's a completely pointless interaction that only gives Reacher the time he needs to turn the tables.
You yell or make noise, I'll tear your trachea out, and your last thought will be, holy shit, he really did it.
The other major
Let's talk about the second part here, about the part where his henchman gives him an ultimatum. I did watch the last episode last night, and I did find that to be pretty silly, but as I said, it's just a TV show. It's not meant to make sense. It's just meant to, like, just prove to a point where, Jack Reacher will win eventually, regardless of the things and the mistakes that he made. He will win.
The henchman comes up and gives him some kind of bizarre ultimatum. It's a completely pointless interaction that only gives Reacher the time he needs to turn the tables.
I mean, yes, that's the point. It's supposed to be a show about good triumphing or destroying evil. That's the point of it. I don't get why the critics are so nitpicking over the little details. Like, come on. I know this scene must be pretty silly for most people, but hey, it's pretty okay to some, because it's just about, Reacher holding his love interest Dixon here, trying to hold on for dear life and then not letting her go. Now, obviously, the most important thing is the guy could have pushed him off along with his love interest, or he could have just, shot him there and then both of them will fall off, or he could have just, talked to him and tell him to let go and then force him to let go. But yes, there are many different types of scenarios we can do like this. But I don't know. I think that was pretty okay. I don't find that to be pretty wrong. I think that was just fine. I mean, it is what it is, man. They're just trying to make the show look interesting. That's all it is, I'm saying.
You yell or make noise, I'll tear your trachea out, and your last thought will be, holy shit, he really did it.
The other major issue when it comes to plot armor is the bad guy's stormtrooper aim. Reacher is shot at more this season than
Oh
he
my
ever
goodness,
was
they're
in the
really gonna
first.
nitpick
However,
this?
that means he has missed more times too. People unload whole clips at Reacher and his team, but always hit nothing. Overall, Reacher Season 2 was a downgrade from the first, and suffered from some age-old problems when it comes to action cinema.
I mean, come on, let's go back to that one, man. Yes, I understand that there are some parts where Reacher or Jack Reacher, unloads his gun, and then they're like, and then he like misses a bunch of them, and then the other enemies they shoot at him and then they miss him. But as I said, it's not supposed to make sense. It's just for entertainment.
Reacher is shot at more this season than he ever was in the first. However, that
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, the second season they want to go all out and make him look like a much more bad dude and much more of a beast of a tank. I mean, if you notice that in season 2, Alan Ritchson really made his body look like a beast. Season 2 Reacher. There we go. He really made his body look disgusting. Like, look, okay, this was him in season 1. Like, he looked pretty good. But looking at him in season 2, this looks disgusting, man. Look at how much pound of muscle he has put on compared to what he did in season 1. Like, this is literally what Jack Reacher would look like, and I would be terrified of him. Like, we're talking about a man here who's dedicated to, like, put on a great acting show, and regardless of steroid use and whatever it is, it's just basically a good way to show people that, hey, Jack Reacher is not a person to mess with. Yes, I understand that you're trying to say, like, yeah, he missed a lot of bullets and the bad aim from the bad guys.
means he is
It's just entertainment. Like, who cares? Even if they did shoot him, like, what, one bullet's gonna stop this big tank? Like,
missed
come on.
more times too. People unload whole clips at Reacher and his team, but always hit nothing.
Like, you try shooting a gun then, yeah, you talk so much. Yeah, why don't you shoot a gun and see if you can hit a straight line? Like, come on, man.
Overall, Reacher Season 2 was a downgrade from the first, and
Really?
suffered from some age-old problems when it comes to action cinema.
Age-old problems. I think it's pretty decent. I don't find. Let's look at the reviews been for Jack Reacher. Okay, there we go. Reacher Season 2 reviews. Review. There we go. Sorry, Reacher Season 2. There we go. Let's see. It's received pretty well. Let me see. There we go. Season 2 received it pretty well. I mean, Season 1 received a 91%, which is pretty epic. Reacher Season 2 reviews. Review so far. Review so far. Yeah, let's go to review so far. Some say the second season is better. Some say the second season is better than the first, with a stronger sense of momentum and compelling view, even when the main character isn't on screen. Well, it just goes to show that there are some good in this. Like you see here, others say the season takes everything that worked on season 1 and amplifies it with solid action, well-developed character, and a compelling mystery. Others reviewed another is addictively watchable. Interesting. It's a season of dad TV at its very best, with Ellen Richardson back as Reacher and distinctive down-to-earth action hero. So they are getting great reviews. Okay, and I found my fulfillment in view. There we go. Okay, I found my fulfillment as a viewer. Okay, it's not only perfect. Reacher was appropriately intimidating presence. Yeah, it's true. The show feels really cheap. The show. Oh, this guy really. Oh, this is the guy. Okay. Now we're gonna go to this person. You see this guy named Eric Kane or Eric Kine, whatever you call his name. He wrote an article. You see, this is him. Like, see, Reacher Season 2 Episode 8 Review, a dreadful season finale. You see, Eric Kane, he's a senior contributor about, writing reviews on video games, shows, TVs, entertainment, and culture. And look what he has put here in Rotten Tomatoes. Very cheap, like some budget network. lousy, unimaginative cinematography, crappy fight scene, and bad writing. Everything good about the first season is gone. So let's just have a look at what this guy is going to say in his article. Okay, let's just have a look and see. So we got here what he has posted on the 21st January on 2024. So let's just have a look. Well, that was bad. Okay, I don't know what he's trying to say. So let's read on, okay? Well, that was bad. After an increasingly terrible second season, Reacher devolved into a trope-filled cliche version of a bad action film you've ever seen. I mean, it had it all. The villains not only underestimated Reacher, they did so in most obvious and preposterous way possible. Langston had every opportunity to put a bullet in Reacher's head, but chose instead to stand around monogling. You think that Reacher, being outnumbered and outgunned, restrained, and unable to save his two totally disposable friends, would be a pretty huge obstacle for him to overcome, right? Reacher, actually, it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. Reacher shows off his fighting skills with serious, okay, alright, shows, okay, we've had it in a better show, is ruined by the fact that all the bad guys take him one-on-one at a time, which is, okay, with fists instead of weapons. Sure, I guess you want him alive so that you can fight legally. Why exactly? But have you never heard of tranquilizer darts, syringe filled with powerful drugs, tasers, baseball bats, very small rocks? Wow. I hate it when it shows make bad guys stupid and weak so that the heroes can seem smart and strong. That's Reacher Season 2 in a nutshell. Add a bunch of plot armor and you're off to the races. The New Age powwow is broken up by the arrival of senior level Spec Ops team, and the fight takes to the skies in one of the worst helicopter action sequences ever filmed. Wow. At one point, Reacher's hanging onto the gurney in Dixon. This is exactly what Screen Rant was saying earlier, but we're going to have a look, not all, but just at some of them. Okay, so this is what you did on the helicopter chopper. You can pause and read here for a while. While Langston kicks him, the Langston gives up his hand and kicking duties to a goon. The goon takes a set of breath, and instead of just pummeling Reacher to death, he monologues at him. Dixon managed to free herself, somehow climb up and stab the chatty idiot. Wow. When they land the engineer house, after Langston is thrown off unceremoniously overboard, the mysterious arms dealer AM shows up and immediately captured. He tries to monologue his way out of the situation. They all draw their guns at once and shoot him dozens of times. I guess that's supposed to be cool or something. It feels cartoony and dumb. Really? I thought it was pretty epic. Reacher is the kind of person, like, he doesn't care. If he knows that you're guilty, you're guilty. He shoots you. And they let the pilot sorry, and the engineer go, but Neely uses one of the missile launchers to shoot the helicopter down because I guess that's cool or something also. It's super dangerous and illegal and unnecessary. And these 2-bit players probably, okay, these are just like unnecessary points he's like bringing up. I'm flabbergasted and frankly, well, disappointed at this point. It's most spectacular fall from grace of any show. Yellow Jacket Season 2. Is there a Fear the Walking Dead collapse after Season 3? Of course, there's a ton of failing action after the bad guy, after the beat. Okay, when Reacher and Co. learn again, where's the money? Okay, there we go. Hard to understand. Okay, okay. When Reacher and Co. leave, the Homeland Security guys ask them, where's the money? What money? Reacher replies, and they just waltz out of there with 65 million. Nothing to see here, folks. Reacher then divides it up, giving away to the buddies and families of the victims. Naturally, the IRS will never think to audit millions of dollars just randomly appearing into people's bank accounts, and Homeland Security and the FBI, everyone else involved in cleaning up the mess that both Langston and Reacher left behind will ever ask about it. The show makes so much sense. It's so logical. Wow, you really gotta hand it to this guy. He really hates the show Reacher a lot. After hooking up with the game one last time, no chemistry there. They're both so hot, so wow. Okay, Neely takes him to the bus and heavily implies that they're more than just friends. They're actually family. An old guy gets Reacher to say the family line since it would be too cheesy even for this show to have him reply to Neely with it. Then off he goes into the sunset, blah blah blah. Wow. This guy, Kirk, really hates this show so much. Wow, he updated it also. Wow. At the end, I was Ready for more? Excited to join Reacher on his adventure. Season 2, I'm angry that they take so much promising series. A star, great role regardless of the show, after shortcomings, ruin it entirely. I hope the people in charge take criticism and heart to better in Season 3, but this was not it. Details matter, people, and when it comes to writing good TV, assumptions kill. Or, well, assuming your audience will stick around could kill the show, that's it. They don't actually kill. To be honest with you, naturally, I don't find what's the problem with the show. I think the show's pretty good. I like it a lot. Naturally, I've gotten a bunch of pushbacks, okay? People agree, alongside all the people who agree with me about Season 2, I'll address some of the responses below. They fall into a category, let's see, okay. I liked it. This guy apparently is getting a lot of hate because he wrote this article, but I think he really needs to be careful because, you know, if you have fans who are like Reacher fans like me, and if you like criticize anything, you know, out of your own mind, I think you have the right to say whatever you want, but you don't have a right to, you know, bash the show just because you have a disagreement. Let's just have a look at what the people say. I liked it. TV shows are supposed to be entertaining, not realistic, which is true. You're supposed to just have fun and just see a guy who is big and muscular and intimidating just outnumbers everybody and just make it look awesome like a superhero. Like Batman. Do you honestly think Batman was supposed to be realistic? Batman's it's a made up character, just like Reacher. He's supposed to be made up. He's supposed to be intimidating like Batman. So you get to a point where you're like, oh, Batman is, although. So we can accept Batman into the reality of kids' lives, but we can't accept Reacher because he's too violent, he's too stupid, or the characters don't make any sense. Like, what? Like, dude, you're clearly not a fan of the books. Well, this is a no true Scotsman fallacy and an apparent appeal to purity. Okay, it doesn't matter that I have a real number of the books to enjoy Season 1 a great deal. Not true fan of Reacher would have anything negative to say about Season 2, which is true. If you really read the books, or regardless if you do read it, it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as it sticks to the plot and it doesn't like fall off the cliff, then I guess it is alright. But nitpicking all these little things like the bike scene and the helicopter scene is just complete ridiculous, man. You're clearly woke and just hate this show because it's not woke. Wow. Stop using this word. It does not mean what you think it means. First of all, the problem with all the show has nothing to do with its politics. Okay, fine. I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not going to do it, alright? Just go and watch something else if you don't like it. This is apparently absurd to tell a TV critic, first of all, but it's also pretty silly to say to anyone. The only reason people are upset with Season 2 is because we really liked Season 1, which is true. But honestly, I mean, what point of writing this article is gonna do for you, man? Like, come on. Really. As a critic, it's my job to point out what's going wrong so that the people in charge of the show can correct course. Unlike the psychopunts and fanboys who defend the show and attack anyone and everyone who criticizes it, I actually want Reacher to succeed. I think that Alan Richardson is perfect in this role, but he deserves much better scripts. I think audiences deserve a better series. I think that Season 1 proves that Season 3 can be much better than Season 2 if they get back to basics. Yes, there are some parts that are pretty dumb, but that's not that, as I said, it's not supposed to be, you know, it's not supposed to be horrible. It's supposed to be alright. Now let's just have a look and see what this guy says. He made a 22-minute video. We're not going to see the whole thing, but we're going to have to like halfway see it. I'll have a separate post on what the basics or how to fix Reacher later, but for now my point is this. I'm a Reacher corner here. I'm in Reacher's corner here. When I see a sinking ship, I try to save it. Not deny that it's sinking in the first place and attacking the first responders. Okay. So he made a review video on Season 2 finale, which is the last video. Let's hopefully he makes it well. We're not going to watch this video, but we're going to watch it in the next episode. So this is going to be a part 1, guys. I'm sorry, but it's a very long video, but I try to make it a bit short so that I don't have to talk so much, and then, you know, you guys can, you know, respond to it and have a good laugh about it. Maybe we can talk more about it in the future. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for support. Leave a like, share, subscribe, comment on the video too. Helps us to improve myself, and subscribe to Axios Media for more videos. And thank you guys so much. God bless, and I'll see you all in part 2. Bye bye. Peace.